If the black man has $20 billion, and these so-called Negro leaders are such geniuses that they can integrate white restaurants and integrate white factories and force themselves into that which the white man has set up, they should use this same ingenuity to show the black people how to pool our wealth and set up something of our own. And then we won't have to force our way into his anymore. One more thing I would like to point out concerning what he said about 125th Street. We don't waste our time on 125th Street, but you can reach more people in the street who want to change than you can in the bourgeoisie society, the bourgeoisie church, and the bourgeoisie circles. Our program is directed toward the man in the street. So we spend our time in the street, and what we do with that man, instead of trying to change the white man and your mind and make you accept us, we change the mind of the black man and make him accept himself. And as soon as he accepts himself, he'll solve his own problem. He won't be trying to force himself into your factory and into your bedroom and into your kitchen.
If you study the structure of the Negro community, economically, politically, civically, psychologically, and otherwise, it's controlled by the white liberal, who usually poses as the friend of the Negro, who actually differs from the white conservative in the same way that the fox differs from the wolf.
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams. I know niggas who played ball and gave it up for lean.
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams, but my account in overdraft, I'm about to scream.
Rich man greed,
A poor man prayers,
every man bleeds.
but look how God made us.
Too many losses, it's only right that we win. Yeah, I made a promise I'm never gonna lose again.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy SL550, and this is the N.G.L.A podcast. And first and foremost, man, make sure y'all like, share, comment, subscribe to the channel. Y'all know how I work, baby. The more you subscribe, like, comment, share my content, the more I will excel in this new industry that I'm in, baby. So without further ado, just make sure you push that button for me, please. I highly and truly appreciate it. So today, man, I got a good one, bro, because I ran across this video, and it's a powerful video, man, because I believe he's a preacher, but I don't want to misrepresent him, but I believe he is. But his name is Vince Ellison. And he gave this speech at, I think it's called the Young America Foundation. And it was a powerful speech, man. I chopped it up a little bit because it's pretty long. So you'll see in the video the foundation that he was speaking at. So if you want to check out the full video in its entirety, you can go on YouTube and go check that out, man. It's definitely a dope video, man, because one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to get into the podcast space was not only to, be vocal about, different, be vocal about my ideology on different things and give my perspective and my opinion on different aspects. But one of the main reasons why I did get into this space is because I don't play the victim. I've been to prison. I was a perk kid, an addict. So I'm a recovering addict. And like I said, I've been to jail, I've been to prison, I've been in the streets, I've been homeless. And at this point in my life, I'm doing pretty good for myself. So it also was to give my story and bit by bit, but also to show people that, there's another way. I think us as black people, because I am black, I'm black and white. My father black, my mother white. I identify as a African American. And so I think we get so caught up in the culture, and the culture has become something that is so normalized with all the murdering, drug dealing, and just that whole street life. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen it. I was fortunate enough. I grew up in Camden, New Jersey, but my mother moved around a lot when I was younger. So I went to different schools. I was in the school system, like, for instance, Yorkshire and Morgan Village, where I'm from. And then I moved and went to schools like Woodbury and Deptford. And it gave me a different perspective on, just seeing people that grew up in the hood, and then seeing people that grew up in a more nicer neighborhood that looked like me. You know what I mean? So it gave me a different perspective on, well, let me say this. Now, looking back, I really see that we really are programmed as a whole, because I've seen people that had a better life in the suburbs who were fortunate enough to have a pretty substantial life. You know what I'm saying? But because we have melanin in our skin, I feel like as a whole, especially in my generation and this younger generation, we feel like that in order to be cool and accepted, that we have to live up to what's been normalized in our culture. And even though we got a lot of dope people in our culture, and we got a lot of wealth in our culture, we just, as a whole, man, we're still at the bottom. You know what I mean? So I brought this video up because it's focused around DEI and the whole victim mentality, and he gonna go into different aspects of it. But I'm gonna get into the video, and then we'll talk as the video go on, and give you some more of my insight and my opinions on everything that he was talking about. So let's get into this video. This is Vince Ellison, and like I said, man, if y'all want to see this the whole video in its entirety, make sure you check it out on YouTube. Let's get it.
I am so happy to be here with you tonight. I heard y'all been kind of looking for me, right? Well, I'm here.
Real quick, I want to say that this video, I cut it down and edited it to about, I think it's like 20 minutes. So it's a decent sized video. So forget all that. Let's just get into it.
The 16th President Abraham Lincoln, he was a country lawyer. He's talking to the jury, and he asked him a question.
If the black man has...
I am so happy to be here with you tonight. I heard y'all been kind of looking for me, right? Well, I'm here. And I was around your beautiful city today, and I walked around it, and it's just beautiful, and I think I brought the heat with me. It's beautiful here. You know, our 16th President Abraham Lincoln, he was a country lawyer. He's talking to the jury, and he asked him a question. He said, if you had a dog and you counted his tail as a leg, how many legs would the dog have? The jury said, 5. He said, no. Still be 4, because the tail is still a tail. Because you call it a leg doesn't make it a leg. It is still a tail. This is kind of what we're talking about here tonight. Just because you call something something doesn't mean that that's what it is. We've gone into a level of abject insanity here in America, and it's got to be dealt with. Man, I was walking through the city today, just enjoying the weather and enjoying the people, and I saw this mural on the side of the parking garage. It caught my attention. And it said, weaponize your privilege to save black bodies. And then they got a black man on it, looked like he dead. And I was seeing some of the students, and I was saying, hey, what is that about? And a lot of them didn't know. And then one young lady said, I think it came from the Black Lives Matter protests and things that were going on here. And I said, weaponize your privilege. So who are they talking to? And she said, well, I think they're talking to white people. And I said, they're saying they have some type of privilege over me to save black bodies? I mean, what are they saying? And it dawned on me. I said, the left has a God complex. Black people think that they're inferior, and white liberals think that they're God. And black people are praying to white liberals to save their lives. Weaponize your privilege to save black bodies. It reminds me of an outtake from The Godfather, which he left it in the movie, Francis Ford Coppola, but it's an outtake. Vito Corleone is going to see his concierge, G.E.L.A. He's dying. And he brings all of his sons. G.E.L.A.'s not going to make it through the night. And G.E.L.A.'s afraid. He's scared to death. He's lying there, and he sees Vito come in with his sons. And he says, Godfather, save me from death. When death comes in the room, make some deals. He's seen Vito do all these great things his whole life, right? And he thought the Vito was like supernatural. He said, make a deal with death. Pull some strings, make death go away. And Vito looked at his old friend, seeing how afraid he was, and he looked at him and said, G.E.L.A., I have no such power. Do not fear death. And G.E.L.A. said, well, then just stay with me. The left would tell the black community that we have that power. See, Vito told G.E.L.A. the truth. I have no such power. But when the black community goes to the left and they ask them, can you feed me? Can you clothe me? Can you educate my children? Can you make me like you? Can you make me equal to you? They say, yes, we can do it if you just give us your soul. And for 50, 60 years, we've fallen for that lie. And we're at the bottom of every socioeconomic statistic in the United States of America. Look at where they rule. Everywhere they rule. Detroit, Chicago, New York, Philadelphia, Memphis, everywhere they rule. Murder, mayhem, death, destruction, worse schools. They control every whorehouse, every crack house, every failing school. Haven't you done enough to my people? Haven't you killed enough of them? Haven't you put enough of them in prison, destroyed enough of their families? I hold you in utter contempt. And then you have the nerve to say you want to expand it. You have no shame. Great movie, Cool Hand Luke. When the Wolverine told Luke he was doing these things to him for his own good. What did Luke tell him? I wish you stop being so good to me, boss. Well, I think that's about what the black community is getting ready to tell the left. I wish y'all stop being so good to us. We want to talk about diversity, equity, and inclusion tonight, right? We're dealing with people, y'all, who, at this present time, do not believe in science. Our Declaration of Independence say that we hold these truths to be self-evident. What is self-evident? That means that I shouldn't have to explain this to you. That's what self-evident means. There are some truths that are self-evident. That's a tree. No, it's not. Man, I ain't even gonna argue with you about that. If you don't have enough sense to know that's a tree, you know. That's the sun. No, it's not. Dude, that's the sun. No, it's not. No, Thomas Jefferson said some truths are self-evident. That all men are created equal. I shouldn't have to argue with you about this, okay? Oh, no. Not with the left. No, 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 no. You can tell them that science says a woman has excess chromosome, man has XY. No, they don't. And you just look. It's fluid. Gender is fluid. So I can tell you today that I'm a woman, right? Yeah. And I can go to a woman's bathroom. Yes, you can. And then tomorrow I can tell you I'm a man. Yeah. See, it's insanity. And what we've done, we have become too politically correct to call it exactly what it is. We want to engage them in some type of intelligent conversation. Instead of saying, look, man, you need help. You need, you need to go to a psychiatrist. We need to put you in an institution. Something is wrong with you. The inmates are running the asylum. It's like anything else. Hitler gets power. What did he do? He bring a bunch of psychotics around him. A bunch of crazy guys. And then they went to destroying the whole world. Stalin gets power. What does he do? Since he's crazy, brings a bunch of crazy guys around him. They go to killing their own people. Mao Zedong gets power. And what does Mao do? Brings a bunch of other crazy people around him. And they start killing everybody into 60, 50, 70, 80 million people in China. Now Castro got power. What did Castro do? Brought a bunch of crazy people around him. Started killing people in Cuba, just blowing people's brains out. Him and Che Guevara just went to town. Pol Pot, you name it. Somehow or another, insane people get power. And when they get power, they do crazy stuff. You take it all the way back to Nero, man, when he made his horse a consulate. We are living in that time right now, where insane people have gone at power in media and in government. And they are dictating to us state-sanctioned insanity. And we have to start calling it exactly what it is. I'm not going to entertain your foolishness, man. You're a freaking nutcase. And you need to be put in a straitjacket. I'm not going to argue with you. When you engage a fool in an argument, you don't know who the fool is. You're the fool, you know. Intelligent man can't argue with a fool. And that's what we've been doing, and I refuse to do it. So we walk around saying, why do black people need DEI? Show you how stupid it is, okay? Show you how stupid DEI is. And I say this about affirmative action also. Okay, you say the government is racist. Yeah, government is racist. And businesses are racist. Yeah, they are, and we need DEI and affirmative action. I said, so you're going to give the racist government and the racist business the ability to go into the black community and choose the people that they want to elevate. Who do you think they're going to choose, Malcolm X or Stephen Fetchit?
Yo, I don't know why. It's so crazy because I actually put a note up. It said, turn my mic back on. Because for some, I just, just getting used to, pausing it because you don't want to hear background noises and stuff like that. But anyway, it's so true, man, because they, I believe that a lot of these dudes is propped up. And, they with the propaganda, bro. They with the agenda. They don't care. It's about self-interest. These people only care about their lining their pockets. Most of it's about money. And if you think that some of these so-called leaders, like Al Sharpton, Roland Martin, if you think that these people won't sell out their own people for money, you crazy. And then on top of that, I think a lot of them actually convince themselves that they're doing some type of good. But I believe guys like Al Sharpton, who've been around since Martin Luther King and stuff like that, this dude is definitely bought and paid for sure. And like you said, you think they're going to choose Malcolm X? No. You think they're going to choose guys like Fred Hampton? No. Huey P. Newton? No. These are guys that they got out the way because these were people that actually were making their voices heard in the community, and it wasn't in a way where they were going, where they was playing the victim. It wasn't no victim mentality with Malcolm X. It was, straight to the point, letting people know in order for us to get to where we need to be, we have to start thinking like this. and stop thinking that the government is going to come and save me. No, you need to get it on your own and stop looking at everything as though you starting from the back of the line. And I tell people, especially in 2025, that's just not, bro, it's just not real at all. Like, we all have the same opportunities. I had the same opportunities. Like I said, we was always struggling. My mom, you know, always, we struggled our whole lives. You know what I'm saying? I never had my own room until I got my own place. You know what I'm saying? I had brothers, we shared everything. You know what I'm saying? And I like the way I grow because this is what gives me the different perspective that I have today on a lot of different issues. The blessing that I have is that God gave me the mentality to be able to be open-minded. You know what I'm saying? And also be able to look in the mirror and be hard on myself. You know what I mean? And tell myself, yo, you need to make changes here. Or you need to do this different. Or you should have said this different. Or you need to stop being so negative. Start being more positive. Just different things. I was blessed by God to have that type of mentality to where I would, you know, and at times, was it a struggle? Of course. Of course. We all struggle, bro. We all have shortcomings. But at the end of the day, we gotta keep it moving, man. Let's get back to the video, though.
Step and fetch it. They're going to choose the people that they want, the people that they are comfortable with. And this is why, after 50 years of affirmative action, we still at the bottom of everything. Why? Because they went and chose the black people they wanted. The people in the black caucus, bunch of step and fetch it's. What do? Black schools are the worst schools in the history of the world. 85% of the people are not proficient in reading or math. You can bring in school choice. No. Why don't you want school choice? Because, well, they won't tell you this, the teachers' unions give 99% of their money to these guys, and these guys, what? Then take care of the teachers' union and give them a monopoly. So, you got a war zone going on down in the ghettos. Why don't you let people arm themselves and defend themselves? No. Why? Well, man, if you arm yourself, you can't keep, you know, what's going to happen when we want to sell the dope on the street and let the illegals in? The people defend themselves, so we can't do that. Well, the people are Christian and they're Muslim and they're Jewish. Why don't you let them pray their religion? No. You kick God out of the schools, brought the drag queens in, put the Bible out to school, brought the porn in, took discipline out to schools. Now what you got? Children cussing out the teacher, fighting, raising hell, smoking blunts. And when you ask them to change it, no, because that's exactly what they want. Based on that, I said before, I'll say it again, loud and proud, perpendicular on the square, that the left are nothing but a cabal of perverts, liars, psychopaths, and anti-Christian bigots. All they do is meditate on blood. Let's see what's coming over that border. Sex trafficking, fentanyl killing 100,000 Americans a year. And they will not stop it. They'll let Ukraine go down. Hey, if you just stop what's going on at the border, we're giving the money for Ukraine. No. You know why? They're replacing you. Better get ready for it. The white Anglo-Saxon Protestant is their enemy. That's the common enemy that they have. They've always said it. And that hodgepodge of weirdos have all come together to form a fist to take you out. And nothing's new under the sun, y'all. Governments have done this before. When they can't control their populations, when they have a part of the population they don't like, they replace them. Hey, ask Adolf Hitler about it, right? He didn't like the Jews, he just replaced them. Stalin didn't like the kulaks, he replaced them. Mao Zedong didn't like the landlords, he replaced them. See where I'm going with this now? And they always want to catch you while you're asleep because you always believe because you're such good people. No one could ever do that. That's when they get you. Men and women have to be sober-minded. The reason why me and my family has excelled in the United States of America is because I always see them coming. I was born on a cotton plantation in Haywood County, Tennessee. My father was a sharecropper when I was born. The most violent Klan faction in America was the Tennessee Klan. The Grand Wizard of the Tennessee Klan lived in my hometown, Brownsville, Tennessee. I didn't know this until I was reading David Garrow's piece in Standpoint Magazine about Martin Luther King Jr. He was talking about the FBI files and how legitimate they were, and he mentioned that, and it almost blew me. I said, what, he lived in Brownsville? Here's the thing. I called my dad and asked my dad about it. I said, Daddy, did the Grand Dragon of the Ku Klux Klan live in Brownsville? He said, yeah. I said, you know where he lived? He said, yeah. He lived right down. He told me exactly where he lived. I said, why didn't you ever tell me? He said, it did not matter, because he wasn't going to bother me, because I'd have blown his brains out. You see that? Oh, but we was all supposed to be scared back then. My father, it did not matter. It had no effect on him whatsoever. I would have blown his brains out if he had come near me. That's how I was reared. Always see them coming. And I'm using that to tell you right now, I have seen these people destroy a generation, 2 generations of black Americans. We've been like a scientific test for them so they can then put it all over the United States of America. They know how to do it now. Oh, put the hip hop music down there. N-word, B-word, W-word. Yeah. Let the children hear it. Wire them up to hate one another. And now they kill each other on an industrial level. They give them awards now, y'all. NAACP, yeah, they give rappers awards now. Give them awards for transitioning their children. And so it goes. Richard Pryor had this joke. He said if you, white people would see somebody in the black community high on heroin, and they say, oh, Lord, isn't this a shame? And then when it would come to the white community, he said, it was an epidemic. His joke said that what starts in the black community ends up in the white community. And I'm seeing it. All the pathologies that we've dealt with since it started in the 70s and 80s are now being brought into the white community. And it's been bought by the left. People, DEI is a Trojan horse. Let me in. Let me in to choose your leaders and choose the people to elevate. Let me in. And I'll choose the best ones. Are you boss? Yes, I will. And then they end up getting the ones who are not going to do you any good whatsoever because they haven't. Have they? They haven't. See, the proving ground, you guys, is the NFL, NBA. America accepts those young men on the football and basketball field because they know they all earned it. We have no doubt. This is why the Super Bowl we watched the last time was the most watched.
Yo, I did it. Yo, I gotta be the most, whatever. Anyway, like I was saying, this is a powerful video. I'm not sure if you guys are into this type of content, but the reality is of all I care about is what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? How he's saying it, any of that, his affiliations or whatever, none of that matters. Is what he's saying the truth? That's what I care about. And now, you know, it took me a while, man, but I'm at a point now. I'm at a point now where this is how I feel. You know what I'm saying? I think I said it in one of my first videos that what made me really change my ways and what I was doing was when I thought about the Malcolm X's, the Fred Hamptons, the Huey P. Newtons, the Bobby Seals, the people that went out here and they risked their lives And then before that, pardon me, and before that, you know what I'm saying? Like, we really, in today's time, we shit on our ancestors crazy. They went to jail for being black. They got lynched and killed just for being black. Now, we don't even deal with them type of things no more on the scale that they did. Like, we just don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, people, the left wants to scream racism, especially every 4 years, because they want to win the election and stay in power and all of that. Outside of that, we just know that it's not true, bro. When you look at it as a whole, is there racism? Yes. Shit. I think black people is more racist than white people nowadays. And that's because we still got that victim mentality. Every shortcoming that we have, we do what? We blame it on the black people. I mean, the white people. And then on top of that, we always keep talking about how, at one point in history, did black people have it extremely hard? Yes. We can't escape the truth, right? But the fact of the matter is, even through them tough times, the black family was still together. You know what I'm saying? Like, the community, we knew each other. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, you'll be lucky to know the person that live next door to you. Like, now we're so divided. And that was the goal. And this is why they're winning. You know what I'm saying? They're winning because we keep falling for every trick in the book. The oldest one is divide and conquer, and that's what they did. That's how they got it to where it's at today, to where we normalize, like he was talking about with the rap and all that. And mind you, I do music. I love music, but I'm able to separate music from reality. And I believe that this new generation took music and they took it literal, meaning like I said, we believe that because we have melanin in our skin, the people that we look up to, the rappers, the NFL, basketball players, entertainers, and this, that, and so forth. In order to be like them, that we have to be a certain way. One of the people I love, man, is Wallow, right? And I love their their content. You know what I'm saying? Because they give you a lot of good interviews and stuff like that. But I love the fact that Wallow always lets you know that our communities is too worried about being cool, bro. And I tell my son all the time, I said the graveyards and the prisons is full with nothing but cool niggas. There's nothing but cool niggas in there. That because of egos, because of, like I said, I've been in prison. I was in the TC program, right? And in this program, people used to speak in this, that, and the third, right? And one of my boys, he was saying that how am I supposed to take care of my family off a job, basically, just a regular job? And when he said it though, even though I'm in the same position as him, I quickly thought, like, I mean, just like everybody else, bro. It's a lot of people out here surviving, doing what they got to do, might go on a trip a year, stuff like that, and they doing it off of hard work, bro. But we've been taught that to look up to the dope boy and look up to the street niggas and all of that. So what we do, you know what I'm saying? I kind of had it okay growing up, right? And still, right? My dad, one thing I love about my dad is he taught us hard work. You know what I'm saying? He taught us, like, you don't get nothing for free. My dad ain't never give us shit for free. And I respect him for that as a man now. You know what I'm saying? Like, he started a little cleaning business so his kids can work. I'm talking about like 12. So from 12, we was already working. But when I turned 18, the first thing I did to get money was sell some weed. Like, because that's the mentality. You think like, yo, and the only way I'm going to really get to the money is if I sell some drugs. But now, looking back at all that, I'm able to see that all that, it didn't really get me nowhere. I might have bought a few things, but it didn't really get me nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm at a point where I'm like, you know, I want to establish my credit. I want to build a business. I want to build a brand. I have a business mentality now. So everything I'm doing is what can I do to invest in myself? And that's the whole point of, you know, partial of my podcast is that I want people to understand that, man, through addiction, through prison, through jail, through homelessness, through basically being a black sheep of the family and all of that stuff, I still was able to overcome all of them things. And the moment I stopped making excuses, stopped playing the victim, stopped blaming everybody else, was when things started changing for me. You know what I'm saying? And we all got a chance to do it. I know guys that didn't make it and they not here with us no more, whether it was because of the streets, got murdered, drugs, couldn't overcome that addiction. But I also got people that overcame it, like I did, and they doing real good for themselves now. You know what I'm saying? And we need to get out of, I think the biggest thing that we need to get away from is stop looking on social media, stop thinking that in order to, how can I say it, like, we got to stop looking at what everybody else got. Because when you boil it all down, it's just material shit anyway. Okay, he got money. Okay, she got money. All right, they got a nice car. Okay, but my car drive the same way they car drive. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that you need to stop trying to reach for your goals or chasing your dreams. I'm not saying that at all. You know what I mean? Because I'm still doing the same thing. But at the same time, I got out of caring about having the newest shit, the newest clothes, the newest shoes, the newest of everything, because all that did was keep me broke. You know what I mean? And then I got to work twice as hard just to get the money back and recoup. You know what I mean? So I just had to stop living that way. Now my money goes towards investing in me and my family, man. Yeah, let's get back to this video, man. I'm talking too much.
TV show in the history of television. All those black men out there on the football field, everybody just cheering. You know why? Because you know all of them earned their right to be out there. It is no doubt. Those coaches are not going to put you out there if you don't earn it. He said, Cain, why are you angry? If you do well, will you not be accepted? And if not, sin waits for you at the door to master you, but you must master it. Think about that. God said, if you do well, will you not be accepted? Y'all, that kills DEI that kills it. And it is proven to be correct every time. Jesse Owens goes to Nazi Germany in the 30s and beats Adolf Hitler. He gets a ticker tape parade in New York City. You can see it online. Just hundreds, thousands of people out there just cheering him. Black man beating a bunch of Nazis and Americans. Joe Louis knocks out Max Melling in Yankee Stadium at the eve of World War II. And everybody cheers Joe Louis, a black man. You have Jackie Robinson knocking his home runs. He finally gets called up by Rance Rickey. And then he becomes so good that nobody in baseball, no one in Major League Baseball can ever wear his number again. Number 42 is retired forever. Nobody can wear it. Muhammad Ali, shuffling, hitting, jabbing. They tried to put him in jail, took everything he had, but at the end of his life, he said, I am the greatest. What's on his tombstone? I'm the greatest. Why? They all did well. DEI on top, they let us choose. You can't do well. You can't do it on your own. They have the nerve to say that they're superior to me. If you say that you have some type of privilege over me, you're telling me you're superior to me. That's interesting, isn't it? I got a room full of mostly white Americans in here right now. Which one of y'all got privilege over me? I want to see you. Oh, nobody's standing? White supremacy. Which one of you is supreme over me? And we're correct. You know why? No one can be superior to me. All this stuff started in the 60s with the civil rights movement. Black people were making gains, y'all, and I wrote this in my first book, Iron Triangle, and I wrote it in 25 Lies. I'd studied the time between 1940 after World War II and 1960 for the civil rights movement, and black people were closing the gap without any marching. I mean, we had Joe Louis, we had integrated baseball, we had cut our poverty rate from 80% to 30%. The black family was intact. 80% of our children were born in wedlock. Nobody was going to prison. And then the civil rights movement started and said that we were all victims, and that we need to come to government to help us. We were on our way to being like other minority groups in America, the Jewish people, Asian people, people that descended from India, set aside but doing better than the white population. And then the civil rights movement happened. And now if you look at black America, they've rejected it. The whole concept of believing that you could force compliance, force people to accept you, was insanity. You can't do it. It has to be a natural affinity for one another. You have to learn to love one another. So how is it supposed to work? All right, Martin Luther King walks up there and he says, and I saw this at the Lorraine Motel. I was there doing some research. They turned it into a museum. And they were looping his I Have a Dream speech. And I'd heard that speech 1,000 times. This time I heard it different because Kaepernick and all these guys were kneeling. They were angry. And I was born on a cotton plantation, and I'm not angry, right? What are these guys angry about? And I heard King say something that I said, that's the poison pill right there. King said, 100 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, the Negro is still not free. That is a lie. I was born free. According to John Locke, in his second treatise of government, my freedom is a gift from God. It is an unalienable right. That's why Thomas Jefferson used it in the Declaration of Independence. It's unalienable. It's given to you by God, not by government. It is irrevocable, non-transferable, and unsellable. So people say, well, they put you in jail, have they taken your freedom? No, they have not. They've taken your liberty. Freedom is here. While you're in their jail, God is still going to hold you responsible for everything that you do. If you lie, if you steal, if you kill somebody, how you conduct yourself. Your freedom is here. And you're going to be held responsible for your freedom. So he says 100 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, we're not free. He said 5 times in that speech we were not free, and then we had to come to government for our freedom. It turned the Declaration of Independence on its head because Thomas Jefferson told the king, we are free. God gave us our freedom. And the king said, no, I gave it to you. Thomas said, well, we'll see about that. You want to ride this train? Come on, ride it. And then they signed a document saying, we pledge our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. Think about this now. The founding fathers knew King George was coming. King George said, when I get there, I ain't going to just kill you. I'm going to bring you back to Great Britain. I'm going to hang you till you're almost dead. Then I'm going to cut you open. I'm going to pull your guts out, and I'm going to castrate you. Then I'm going to cut off your limbs and some of the othermost parts of the British Empire. That's what I'm going to do to every last one of y'all. And they said, sign the document and send it to him. We pledge our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. That's why these guys are legendary. Instead, y'all want to give us DEI. Let us do it for you. Let us choose your leadership for you. Never me, never me. So if I see somebody with DEI on his application, I'm going to say it is dead on arrival as far as I'm concerned. I'm not going to ride on the plane with him. I'm not going to let him be my doctor, and he sure can't be my friend. So then you turn to abortion. Good God. Y'all, this is how I see abortion. It's baked into the cake of our culture now. And to make abortion illegal is admirable. But I want to make it unthinkable. And we do that, we'll have to make it illegal. My great-grandmother had 14 children, my grandmother had 16, and my mother had 7. And then Margaret Sanger decided that black people were human weeds. That's what she called us. And she started this little side project called the N.G.L.A Project, designed to exterminate the black community. And she's been doing a pretty good job of it. They've killed over 20 million black children since Roe v. Wade in 1972. They say they kill about 1,000 a day. That's a child and a half a minute. So since I've been up here, y'all, about 50 children have been murdered in the United States of America. And the left says, full speed ahead. The nation is dying. Our rate of, we were supposed to be at a 2.1 rate of replenishing ourselves, but right now we're at 1.6. The nation is dying. And they say full speed ahead. I am so happy.
Bro. 3 for 3, bro. Out of control. That so if you, like I said, if y'all want to go check out that whole video in its entirety, it's Young America's Foundation. Definitely was a dope speech, man. Because it's the truth, man. I don't know why, man. We just want to be lied to so much. And I honestly, man, I just don't get it. You know, sometimes I be watching some of this stuff that's going on. My bad, my bad. The wife was saying something to me. So like I was saying, we gotta we like being lied to, man. I don't know why. And it's so funny because I think his name James Clogue or something like that. I want to play. I think tomorrow I'm gonna play one of his videos, man, because I like his content because he goes out there, and basically what he does is he goes and asks people, you know, he basically debates them on the street type of thing. You know what I mean? And you just see the whole point of me saying that is you see that when he asks them certain questions, like simple shit, like, you know, why do you think Trump is trying to be a dictator or something, like, you know, and they really don't have anything. All they do is say talking points from that they hear from the news. That's all you see is a bunch of talking points. And the whole moral of that video that I got from it was that we need to get it off of merit, and we need to stop bitching and complaining about where we came from, slavery and all of that. It's like the first thing we taught is that we came from slaves, and they tell you that basically white people were the masters, and you know, so it's like kind of it's brainwashing to a degree where you certain people, and I've seen videos where like white people really do feel that way. They really do feel as though that they're more superior than the black race. When it's like, man, listen, bro, we all humans, we all the same. We do the same shit the same. The only thing that's different is some people go out here and go a little bit harder than others, man. And that's my whole thing, is that I want us to really stop having this victim mentality and start going out here and getting to it, because there's no sense in doing, like, none of that stuff matters. I said this before. When I was taking shortcuts and doing all of the negative shit, it didn't get me nowhere. I didn't gain anything from it. If anything, I took a bunch of losses. Kept going to jail, went to prison twice, and came home with nothing. Had to start over. So living that lifestyle did nothing for me. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know, I'm got a beautiful family, you know, things looking up, working hard. And my goal is to create a space where I wake up every day doing something I love doing and make money doing it to where I can feed my family. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could care less about being famous and all of that shit. But there's a lot of things that I really don't care for that comes with that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know, I'm gonna go where God take me at, man. And that's just that. You know what I'm saying? But listen, I got another video. Speaking of DEI, and got this video with Jasmine Crockett. She is crazy, man. And she's another person that black people should feel offended by, because this is a black chick who came up in a 2-parent household, you know, great family. I heard she went to private school, college. Like, she had a good life, but she run around on Capitol Hill acting ghetto as hell, and she thinks that she's representing us. She thinks she's representing the people when you're not. All you doing, honestly, and anybody that really falls for that, hey, man, shame on you, bro. But anyway, man, this is a video with the Cartier family. I fuck with them boys. They make some dope content, super consistent. Their channel is definitely big, and they definitely inspired me. They one of the ones who inspired me to get into this podcast space. You know what I mean? I do my best not to do the whole because they black and all that shit. I don't care about none of that. They just great content creators. Doesn't matter if they was black or white or whatever. Because it's some dope white content creators, Spanish. We all out here, man, and everybody get into it, and I love it. So let's get into this video with the Cartier family on, I believe, Jasmine Crockett on The View. Spilling a bunch of bullshit once again.
Kamala Harris, light years ahead of Donald Trump.
So she not on The View.
Kamala Harris, light years ahead of Donald Trump as it relates to qualifications, as it relates to her overall resume, and as it relates to the fact that she was a lot younger. Everybody said that they wanted to get rid of Joe Biden because he was too old. Then you had a younger, qualified, non-felon candidate, and somehow the people still chose the old white man. So, like, for me, I don't think it was ever about that, because when you think about it.
So she was more qualified, even though he already has done the job and did a great job while he did the job.
Great point. I was going to say that.
Before COVID-19 pandemic, African-American unemployment reached a historic low of 5.4% in August 2019.
Down from 7.5% when he took office. He dropped it from 7.5 to 5.4.
It says the median income of black households grew by 7.9%.
Come on, man.
That's 8% growth. That's a lot.
Niggas for Trump.
All right.
Sorry.
All right.
He said, I will be your retribution. And so this idea that we don't care how many people get hurt, we don't care how we prostitute our service members, you know, thinking that you have your own special little army that's for you. I mean, it is sick. It is really sick. And anybody that supports it is also sick. And so, you know, we've got a mental health crisis in this country, because everyone, no matter how you affiliate yourself, should be against Trump, period. This is not partisan for me. Like, I would give anything to have, it's sad to say, George Bush. Give me any regular Republican nowadays and I would be happy. But right now we have someone who does not care, and he is being enabled by the fact that there are, you know, people that follow him and they pump him up as well as the people that are surrounding him. And so, you know, my heart breaks for service members, people that signed up to protect democracy and freedom, not only here, but abroad, and were willing to risk their lives. And now, literally, the very thing that they signed up to fight against is now their commander-in-chief. It really breaks my heart. And I don't know how far he has to go before we can come together and just say, enough is enough. Like, this should not be partisanship.
It's interesting.
Yo, bro. Yo, the theatrics are real, bro. Like, the one thing that they do is they get like they all should star in the movie. Put it like that. Like, anything that happens, bro, you just watch. Literally, it could be an hour later. Only gotta be the next day. An hour later, they all out there saying the same shit. There's a bunch of videos online of them verbatim saying the same words. They got like trigger words. It's like some psyop shit. You know what I mean? Let's like when they call JD Vance weird. Like, they got a bunch of shit like that where they just all say it like at the same time. Like, they all like, go ahead, turn the camera on, hurry up. Like, come on, quick. Weird. They got videos of all of them just literally saying the same shit, bro. And this goes to show you that none of it's organic. It's not organic. She truly don't feel that Donald Trump is a dictator and all of these things that she say. The whole point is, I have to oppose Donald Trump because I'm a Democrat, right? And then she thinks that the things that she's doing is going to get her reelected in her state. And from what I heard, I don't know how true it is, but I guess they trying to prop her up to run, but she's going to lose because she's not a good representation for the people, man. And if you think she is, sheesh, we're fucked.
Interesting that they act like the sky is falling because Trump is president. Like, we just elected a guy that wasn't already the president, and he's doing everything he said he would do.
And that's the biggest thing, is that they get up on the campaign trail, tell you a bunch of shit of what they're gonna do, and they do none of it. Donald Trump does exactly what he says he's gonna do. You know what I'm saying? And the funniest, the craziest part is that when they told you the stats about the unemployment, right? People were making more money. Most people don't know that. They don't know that. They don't know about the platinum plan. They don't know about him giving HBCUs long-term funding. They don't know about anything that Donald Trump is doing. Why? Because most of the things that they report on Donald Trump is negative. Even CNN reported that I think it was 98% of all news reported on Donald Trump is negative. So it doesn't, like he even told you, it doesn't matter what I do. They're not going to clap. It doesn't matter what I do. They're not going to give me my props for lowering gas prices, food prices, any of that, bro. Any of that. They have just put out there, hate Donald Trump no matter what. It doesn't matter if he's doing good for you. It doesn't matter if he's putting more money in your pocket. Hate him. We need you to hate him. It's crazy.
Prices are down. We're not sending billions of dollars to Ukraine. We got a conflict going on in the Middle East, and he's about to freaking solve that, or at least attempt to, as far as we know. I mean, I don't understand why they keep panicking.
But to be honest, if we think about this, we can't really blame so much of the overseas stuff on Trump, because this is a beef that's been going back since the Bible.
Yeah.
Still. So
Facts.
it's like,
They
want Trump to solve that.
Bro, he's not Jesus Christ. That's why I was, we was having a little argument. You know what I'm saying?
That was different. That was different.
About him changing his mind and all that. I'm like, look, bro, okay, that was different. Maybe he shouldn't just change his mind in that day. I
was just saying it looked bad as bad look that I still, anyways, that situation. Different situation.
About the immigrants.
Yes.
With the farm workers and all that, yes. But I'm like, look, bro, he's not Jesus Christ now.
No, yeah. I don't expect him to end the war over there, because No one can, I don't think. But I do think that he will do what's best for America, and I think that he will take military action only if America is threatened.
So all the shit that Jasmine said literally is like out the window because of this.
What, are you kidding me? 56% approval in a brand new Rasmussen poll for President Trump. 56% of the American people think he's doing a great job. That is a landslide. That is awesome. And you consider everything he's up against and everything he's going through and everything that, all the innovation that he's come up with and the constant loud opposition of the media, and his numbers at 56%. You know who that beats? Ronald Reagan at this point in his second term.
Wow.
Just 52%.
That's crazy.
It reminds me, the Gipper and President Trump together. Isn't this an amazing picture? The two of them at some function at the White House. Look at that. We got the 40th president and the 45th and the 47th president all in one spot. It's pretty awesome. So, 56%. That is historic. I always knew that actually President Trump's vision would be popular. What's really not to like about it? When you get through all of the rhetoric and the distortion.
And that's really the truth. When you like, this is, I think, Newsmax, and the poll was a Rasmussen poll, and they're one of the few reliable polls out there. Excuse me. And it's 56%. That's high. That's high. In political averages and stuff like that, when they do these polls, this is high, bro. Ronald Reagan is considered one of the greatest presidents, right? So his was at 52, Donald Trump's is at 56 this go around. So that goes to show you that most of the United States of America is fucking what Trump is doing, period. But for some reason, people just want to oppose everything that's Donald Trump. And what made me, like, when I started doing my research and getting into this whole political arena, I started doing some research, and I went back and I'm like, damn, it's all a lie. It's all bullshit. Because all of these people that so-called Oprah, all of them, like, he literally was friends, like good friends with Oprah. So to see Oprah now, when Kamala was running, to get up there and act like, they kept talking about, that was the thing they kept doing, the Project 2025, that's all they kept saying. Every single person that got up during the DNC speech was Project 2025, and it's like, and notice they even, celebrities and stuff are always going to come out for each candidate, you know what I'm saying? But they always prop up the mega stars like Beyonce, you know what I'm saying? You think, I don't even, like, honestly, they don't give a fuck. They probably, it was a whole thing on how they paid Beyonce all of this money and shit like that. It's about the money, bro. That's why I said, for the right price, black people would sell out their own people. They don't care, bro. They look at it like, shit, I got a check, you bugging and shit. They offer me $100,000. I need that shit to get up there. I think she got like $1 million, Beyonce. She was up there for like 2 minutes. What? $1 million for 2 minutes? It's a lot of people that would take that. For real. So, it's crazy, bro.
Make America great again. Having borders, not sexualizing children, not getting into forever wars and then not winning them. It just has mass appeal.
That war thing, yeah, is big, though. We can't go. I hope troops won't be on the ground, though. No Americans die. We're good.
I'll tell you something. Israel came out today. Well, their president, Netanyahu, said they can handle the nukes on their own. So that, to me, signifies that they know that America's not coming to back them in this. So they just came out and said, we can't handle it on our own. So
I thought that they could, too. I said that.
I agree. And I think that's a good sign. I'd also like to point out something. So his approval rating is at an all-time high. It's to show you, I don't think he's ever had a 56% approval rating. No. This is an all-time high. ever. Like since this is the highest for any Republican president since Ronald Reagan. That's insane. So
higher than Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, exactly. So like that just goes to show you that all the Democrat messaging, like the sky is falling, is actually not working. Everything Trump said he was going to do, he's done. He's closed the border, cracked down on immigration, inflation's down, egg prices are down, everything's coming down. He just approved money to go to the victims of the storms in North Carolina and all that.
Oh yeah, I seen that.
Like,
that's a
come
while
on,
ago,
man.
too.
That was a while ago. Like, come on, man. This guy's the people's president, and he just extended TikTok.
Black people still upset with him. They didn't invite him to
The NAACP awards
Yeah,
or
they
some shit.
Yeah, they didn't invite him.
Oh no, that'll show him.
I didn't think that they would.
That'll show Trump.
You know how they are.
The changes that he's making and how they're affecting. So I think they saved themselves, a chicken dinner. And he'll get somebody who can actually speak to this and how to make the changes. That's my thoughts. What do you think?
Well, I agree with you, Whoopi. The NAACP, what many people don't understand is it's a nonpartisan organization. And it's also a civil rights organization that has been, and what we have seen with this new Trump administration, Trump 2.0, is he's attacking the civil rights that our ancestors, upon whom we stand on their shoulders, fought for and lost their lives for.
Is he?
How? If any of them were real journalists, real people trying to put out real truth, they would have said, how? How is he going against any of that? He's not, bro. He's not at all. He has done more for black people than everyone that's sitting on that view panel. 100% facts. It's just a fact, bro. Nobody gives a fuck about the NAACP no more, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, the Malcolm X's and even the guy, Vince Ellison, they know the truth, bro. They know the history also. They understand that we've all been lied to for years. And the fact of the matter is, bro, these people are so good that they convince black people the moment you born, if you got melanin in your skin, you associate yourself with the Democrat Party. So it doesn't even matter what's the truth and what's not the truth. I've seen it with my own eyes, bro. I've seen people that I've, had conversations with, you could say it was a debate to a degree. And they're like, man, anybody that's black that's not voting for Kamala Harris is a sellout. What? What are you talking about, bro? Kamala Harris, not only is she not black, what policies did she have that were going to benefit all Americans? Fuck the whole black shit, because that's what they always want to do, is bring everything back to race, bro. They want to bring everything back to race, bro, and make black people feel like they victims, and that's how they get you. They make you feel like a victim. They make you feel like that racism is at an all-time high and that you need to watch out. But the fact of the matter is, it's just not the truth, bro. And what Sonny Olsen is the worst. All of them is the worst. I don't even know how this show is still on. It's a goofy ass show, bro. It's a goofy show, bro. I'm sorry. And the fact of the matter is, bro, is that no matter what Donald Trump does, they're going to say that he's not worthy. You think Donald Trump gives a fuck about going to the NAACP awards or whatever it is? He don't give two shits about that shit. He got more important issues to worry about anyway.
He signed what I believe are unconstitutional executive orders to oppress voters and undo federal civil rights protections. He even ended initiatives for affirmative action and diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. And also, he terminated a number.
And I would have too, because there are people out here that are really getting it off of merit. And then you got black people, because they're black, they pushing them through colleges and all of these different things when they didn't truly earn it. And these other, you know, white and Asian students have to work twice as hard just to get in the door now because of affirmative action. At the end of the day, all of that shit was a facade, bro. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit that was put in place and to hold us back, bro, and to make us always feel like we need the government and we needed these laws put in place for us to move ahead. When during what was it, the 30s, during the whole Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Greenwood, like, bro, they was prospering during real racism, through real issues. They had doctors, lawyers, money was flowing through the community like crazy. And they were hating on the people that lived in Greenwood because of how much they were prospering. And that was during real racism. So the shit that they talking about is goofy, bro. These are just a goofy bunch of women, bro. I'm not even gonna hold you.
Of NIH grants that support scientific research on health equity and racial disparities. And a federal judge, by the way, on Monday declared some of those cuts void and illegal, accusing the government of racial discrimination. And so when you have that in context as background, I think it makes a lot of sense. And the last thing I'll say is he declined to speak. Trump declined to speak at the NAACP when he was the nominee in 2016 and as president, 2017, 2018, and 2019. He doesn't want to go there. Well, they don't need to have him there.
Well, I have a list of other firsts that Donald Trump has achieved. Would you like to hear them?
Yes.
Not really.
I mean, this is not the only thing that he was first in. Give him some credit. He's the first president convicted of a felony.
That's true. 34 of them.
He's the first president to pay hush money to a porn star.
That we know of. That we know of.
That's a great point.
She got
Abraham
a point.
Lincoln.
She got a point.
He's the first president to make an enemy of Canada.
Yep.
He's the first president to publicly mock the disabled. He's the first president to not offer condolences after a politically motivated killing.
Yeah.
He's the first president to plan a North Korean-style parade that barely anyone attended.
These are no stats.
So
no
you
facts.
see, he has other firsts.
Yeah.
So
Just saying.
generally when we have the conversation, because we've had it here a few times around whether people should host or interview the president of the United States, my argument is generally with an interview, yes. So he spoke, we talked about during the election cycle, to the National Association of Black Journalists. I thought that was valuable because you had people like ABC News' Rachel Scott hold his feet to the fire on policy. And I do believe that a presidential candidate and certainly a president, what they say is newsworthy, even if it's offensive, even if we disagree with it, because it affects all of us. In this regard, I don't think the NAACP has any obligation to invite him. To me, that's if somebody is not aligned with your viewpoints, with your policy initiatives, I don't think you're obligated to invite the political figure of the other side.
But he would be booed anyway.
But I was going to say, I think it's a...
The political figure of the other side, but you just said that it was a bipartisan or
that's what I was just saying.
Thing.
Like,
but
what?
then you just said the political candidate of the other side. So then that's basically saying that the NAACP is on the side. And I'm pretty sure we all know that is a very left-leaning organization.
I got a question, brothers. What rights have y'all lost, my brothers? Negroes, what have y'all lost? They look at our civil rights.
You know,
what are they talking about?
You know why they do that? Because if you convince someone that they have lost their rights and they believe it, then they actually have in their brain. And so if you believe you're a slave still today, then that's what you are.
Bro,
I'd like to say something, though.
The Iran comment Whoopi made says
See, I saw why. Okay, remember when I brought that up to y'all earlier? I wasn't on that reaction. I was not on that reaction, y'all. I would like to say something about that. When Whoopi Goldberg said that it is the same to be a black person in America in 2025 as it is to be an Iranian woman. If there is someone out there who believes another word that comes out her mouth after that right there,
then you're an idiot.
Well, then I don't know what to do with you. That's why there are short buses.
Have you guys seen, did you guys hear what she said? Oh, he'd roll back some of our civil rights, affirmative action, and DEI. DEI makes a white woman 3 times more likely to get hired over a black woman in the same position with the same qualifications. We also have looked up stats on this channel, on a video, in real time, where we saw that black women get jobs with DEI that are dependent on DEI and are lower paying than white women who get jobs with DEI. And y'all talking about y'all lost civil rights? He just did you a favor.
Yeah, he did.
He just did you a favor.
Hey, you can't teach these people, man.
What?
They're actually dumb. They're so dumb. This is a representative in the Democrat Party. Really listen to what she's going to say, guys.
Who was the woman?
Look at the matter of fact. Yeah, let's run that. Let's run that crowd. Wow.
You know there's something? All women. Listen, man. Just what it is, bro.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
I'm gonna go buy a ticket to the view, baby.
There's a black dude in there. Wow.
All right, y'all. Hold up. I know it feels like we're home.
But we're not.
But we want the name. Who was the woman you were asking the questions
Yeah, who
of?
was it?
She's amazing.
Yeah, the head
She's
of the National
amazing.
Women's Law Center.
And I was wondering whether or not my staff told her that I was going to end up playing a game with her. Because people get nervous sometimes when I do my games. But usually our witness should know the answers.
Right.
And, she did it. And literally by the end, you could see, like, she was exacerbated, right?
Yeah.
And I think that that's how the country is feeling, right?
Yeah.
And so
Sonny
in a
was tired.
campaign
seen the
where we
approval
talked
rating.
about trans folk like ad nauseum, right? I just want it to be clear that the harm that people are feeling every single day, that is not caused by trans people, is caused by the person sitting in the White House.
Yeah.
What hurt, bro? Hey, bro. What hurt?
Bro. A trans person, a man, literally was in the women's boxing in the Olympics. The girl said that she quit. She said she ain't never been hit that hard in her life. So look at the dude that's playing a softball. He out there throwing motherfucking 90 miles an hour softball pitches or some shit. Like, come on, bro. This is out of control, bro. It's out of control. Look how giddy they were too when she came out. And it don't matter who it is, bro. It don't matter who it is. Anybody that comes out that's for the Democrats, bro, they're going to sit there and act like these people are the best thing since sliced bread, bro. It's just what it is. It's a sad thing, man. It really is, because Jasmine Crockett is probably one of the worst representatives. She does nothing for the district that she is in charge of. She's too focused on Donald Trump and opposing Donald Trump. She ain't passing no new laws or legislation or anything that has to do with boosting up her community. Another thing that Vince Ellison brought up was that most of the states, if you go back and look at what he said, most of the states ran by Democrats are fucked up. You know what I'm saying? The major ones, you know what I'm saying? They're ran by Democrats, bro. And that's the way they want it. They want it fucked up. They want you dependent. They want you getting that welfare. They want all of that. They don't want you to prosper, bro. And that's why the communities are fucked up the way it is. And my whole thing is I don't ever hear them talk about the black on black crime. They want to bring up the They want to go to bat for the dude Carmelo Anthony, right? About what he did and make it a racial issue. And then the whole George Floyd thing, burning down their own city for a fiend. You know what I'm saying? And what happened to him was fucked up. The nigga Derek Chauvin shouldn't have had his knee on the bull neck like that. But he got what he deserved. And that was wrong. But at the end of the day, they was, why is none of this happening for all of the black people that die every single day in the black community? Why is there no uprising for all the abortions that these people allow? You know what I'm saying? All of these innocent children that don't have it's sad, bro. You know what I'm saying? And the one thing that when it comes to that issue, they always bring up rape. Great. And at the end of the day, that's the one thing they're gonna always bring up. And it's like, come on, bro. We all know that that's wrong. And that's what Donald Trump said. That's an exception. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, instead of them promoting being more responsible to women and men, they rather promote abortion. Go look up. I want y'all to also, it made me think of something. Go look up, go Google two things. I want you to go Google. I want you to Google Donald Trump on The View, right? Because before he became president, I think he was on The View in like 2011 or some shit like that, right? Go look at him on The View and how accepting they were of him. I think he had a little situation with Whoopi, but just go back and look at that. And then I want you to damn, I lost my train of thought about I'm gonna remember it. Hold on.
What you just?
My knees hurt.
Black people, LGBTQ, they go together.
No, they don't.
No, they don't. She came out there and spit that shit.
No, they don't. I don't care. They can say that, but I don't care. I'm not accepting that. We don't accept that. We don't accept that in the black community.
We not
finna just do that.
You see the crowd? You going against the norm of the black community, my brother.
Ad nauseum, right? I just want to be clear that the harm that people are feeling every single day, that is not caused by trans people. It's caused by the person sitting in the White House.
Yeah. So before we get into everything today, we're celebrating Juneteenth.
Yeah.
Tell me about Juneteenth.
Listen, now I'm a Texan.
Yes, you are.
So she changed the voice right there.
The rest of the country is just now kind of getting tuned in.
Yeah. She's
but
from
I will
St.
tell
Louis.
you that being a black woman, and for those that don't understand Juneteenth, this was about the fact that the last slaves down in Texas finally 2 years later realized that, or were made aware that they were no longer enslaved people. But in this time, though, especially with the anti-DEI movement and the rollback just of our civil rights and our civil liberties as a whole, as well as ignoring the Constitution, and there's so many rights that black folk got specifically just from the Constitution, I think that this Juneteenth, everyone, whether you're black or otherwise, should really evaluate what does freedom look like in this country? And are we willing to fight for it? And I think, evaluating what happened at No Kings, I think we are ready and willing to fight for our freedom. But I think that it is important that we come together and we define what freedom looks like for those of us in this country, not just black folk.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hold on, bro. They not free. This what I say when I mean they not free. You just said fighting for our freedom. What was Juneteenth? What are we celebrating Juneteenth for then if y'all not free?
Freedom.
Y'all shitting on Juneteenth by saying that.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a good point.
That was a great point.
And we define what freedom looks like for those of us in this country, not just black folk.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're living it.
Do you think that No Kings
She went to private
demonstration
school.
is going to do something?
Private college.
I hope so.
And law
I
school.
think that it's good to be in community. Right now, a lot of people are like, what can I do? And I feel helpless and that kind of stuff. But literally to show up and to see that there's so many like-minded people, as soon as you get off of X, you can find, like-minded people, right? And so, seeing them in person and being in community and having that percent, It's astounding. It makes
That's
you
the
say, you know
protest?
what? I'm not crazy. Okay?
Right. Yeah.
Like,
And I'm not
there's-
alone.
Exactly. And
Whoopi
so
says that all the
bots.
time. We're not alone, and that proves it.
it does.
Yeah.
It really does.
Anyway, in recent months, Trump has called you, quote, a low IQ person
Facts.
and a low life.
I agree with that
Do you
one.
take that as a sign that you're doing something right?
I hope I hope he also calls her a lawyer. That's another thing that she is.
No, he did not. He did not.
How your husband case going?
Yeah, he's good
I
at
was wondering
projecting.
that too, bro.
Is what
She
I'll
got
say to
hella
that.
wiggle.
This is what they do right here. This is what they do, bro. They try to put on to you what they do. They the ones that do the projection, bro. Like, seriously, bro. It's crazy, bro. This chick right here, all of them on that panel, bro, is fucking insane, bro. I don't understand how people vote for this, bro. You gotta know that she was only putting her in the office in her district because she's black, bro. That's why they care about DEI and all that, because they don't want to get it off of hard work. They never noticed that this whole time they're not even talking about nothing but Donald Trump. It's all about Donald Trump. And then they bring up the whole no kings and all that. It's all bullshit. They literally were paying people, bro. It's a fact. They didn't already put the information out there. They literally were paying people to go out there and protest. So I'll say probably 50 or more % of them crowds that was out there all across the nation were bought and paid for by women, by wealthy people, bro, by billionaires. It's crazy.
But, you know,
Finish
I
this video.
can't imagine being the
I've been
president of
looking
the
at that
United
this whole
States
time.
with everything that's going on in the
Her
world
neck stiff as shit.
and worried about
Tryna
a
hold her look
sophomore
up.
in the House.
Well, you're a
Crazy as
powerhouse,
hell.
darling. Don't minimize.
Still, he the president of the United States, right? So it
He's
talks about
scared.
like his level of petty, number one, and it also
He is
just
a
kind of
little bit
goes to
petty
the fact that like he's not focused on the things that he needs to focus on. Listen, you're
But
the
lazy,
president.
throwing
I'm
me
over
off.
in the House, and I'm trying to get these House members to do right by their constituents,
Yeah.
which means going against you. But you're taking out your time when people are literally struggling. You said on day one you were going to reduce the price of eggs. We ain't heard nothing about it.
What?
You know, you said that you were going
This is what I'm talking about. And notice what she just said. People in the house to go against you. You said on day one you was going to lower the price of eggs. Bro, that's all.
to stop all the
What?
wars in the world, and
Right.
it seems like, you know, you go in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you
These
know what
are
I mean?
lies,
Like, there's
bro.
real issues and there's people that are hurting, and then you had this
Hussein.
random sidekick who decided that he was going to cut off the
Man,
aid
her eyes
to
so
everybody.
lazy.
And then you're losing in court every single day. You know, talk
Yeah.
about, listen, call him the biggest loser because, like, the courts.
Right.
Can't make this stuff up.
The courts literally said that he can keep deporting illegal immigrants. It's all lies, bro.
And some losses.
All
So I'm
lies.
just like, can you get your stuff in order? Like, can you focus? But no.
Man, look, I ain't even gotta go down the list of the stuff that Donald Trump has done for black folks. We all know it. So I mean, I was gonna have to.
Just
I was
read
gonna
the
list them.
read the bold print.
It ain't
Actually,
gonna- it ain't
if
gonna
y'all
tell you
on
enough.
X, go ask Grok. Let Grok
It
tell
ain't gonna
you.
tell you enough. But I mean, man, we could go on and on and on and on and on. They gave y'all school choice. That's a huge one.
It says the
Huge.
criticisms and controversial
It
actions.
says his rhetoric is criticized as racially inflammatory.
But no policies. Scroll down to the policies. Let's see here. Law and order stance.
Man, look,
So because of law and order, he's racist.
we know how DEI's reverse racism, guys. It's just, look, man.
Black people don't even
Look,
benefit
this
from
is
DEI.
actually the biggest one.
First Step Act.
Get him out of
First
jail.
Step Act.
30,000 have been released.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Make sure y'all go check out the Cartier family, man. They got a dope channel. They always definitely keeping me informed with, shit that is going on, man. But is these people are ridiculous, man. And like they were just saying about the First Step Act, what's his name? Is it Vance Jones? I think his name is. He came to Donald Trump begging. Look it up, bro. Look it up. Vance Jones, Donald Trump, First Step Act. You could probably Google it. I should do it right now. Let me see. Hold on. I think that's his name. Let's see what pop up. Boom. Look. Trump versus Van Jones. The story behind the First Step Act. Look. Just Google it. I just went on, I went on YouTube. Go on YouTube. Type in Vance Jones, Donald Trump, First Step Act. And it's going to come up. And Donald Trump is going to tell you how Vance Jones came to him literally crying about passing the First Step Act to help get, I think it was, let me see. I think it was people that was in jail for like certain offenses, I think. I want to give you accurate information. It says the First Step Act is a federal law passed in 2018. And who was in office in 2018? Donald Trump. That aims to reduce recidivism and improve conditions in federal prisons. It includes sentencing reforms such as making the Fair Sentencing Act of 2010 retroactive and prison reforms like expanding rehabilitative programs. The act also focuses on placing inmates closer to their families and improving opportunities for early release through earned time credit. So Vance Jones comes to Donald Trump begging him to pass the First Step Act, and Donald Trump does it. And then Vance Jones acts like Donald Trump wasn't the one who helped him. So it's all theatrics, bro. It's all a movie, bro. These people truly don't give two shits about you. They don't care. All they care about is their own self-interest, man. And it's sad, man, because Donald Trump doing some great things, man. No human on this planet is perfect, bro. So to expect perfection from anybody is crazy. You know what I mean? But, you know, I tell people, do your own research, bro. Stop believing everything. Believe none of what you hear, half of what you see. So go do your own research. Go get it on your own. Regardless, just do the work if you want to know about it. Because you out here hating, literally pushing hate and all of these different things on somebody that you really don't have the true context on. Like, you don't know the full picture. You know what I'm saying? Just the videos are out there. People have done videos on everything. From the Russia hoax, that was a lie, from him saying that the KKK and all of them was fine people, that was a lie. All of these things have been proven. Facts, 100%. So when people bring up these arguments, it's easy to debunk. You can literally just Google it, bro. And with AI now, bro, you can ask AI whatever, and AI will tell you. Go to Grok. Literally, I've done it. Go to Grok and ask Grok the questions. If you don't want to go look it up on your own, just ask Grok any question that you want. And Grok will even tell you. Man, but listen, man, I hope y'all liked the video today. Definitely went a little while. But we gonna end it on that note, man. Definitely, like I said, that was a great speech by the guy Vince Ellison. And shout out to the Cartier family, always giving that great content, man. And I hope that y'all fucking with the content. Like I said, my goal ultimately is I want to have a separate podcast that is more in depth. Try to have a co-host or something like that. you know, we're gonna be doing different things with this, you know what I'm saying? But my ultimate goal is to uplift the people, man. You know what I'm saying? And we gotta stop with all the hating and all of the, the victim mentality and shit like that, man. We need to start doing more things to help each other, man. Like, I'm all for it, man. So anybody that calls me, bro, asking me, even if somebody asks me, yo, help me get into this podcast thing, man. I've been wanting to do it for a while, man, but, I don't really know the steps to take, man. I'm going to help them, bro. I'm not going to hate and be like, oh, man, now niggas want to do podcasts now. That shit crazy, bro. Like, who gives a fuck, bro? I ain't the last person. I ain't the first person to do a podcast, bro. You know what I'm saying? But there's nothing wrong with me getting into the space. And that goes for anything, man. We need to stop hating on each other, man. I'm tired of that shit. That shit is so corny, bro. You know what I mean? I had a dope artist out of my city in Camden, named Mir Fontaine. And he was dope. I fucked with him. You know what I'm saying? And, people just was hating on him from his own city. They say dumb shit. You know what I mean? Man, he corny. And it's like, damn, bro. Like, we can't just... It's not even about shit, being dope or not dope. It's about people just doing something, man. Doing something positive. I'd rather see a nigga do a podcast like I'm doing and have 4 views, you know what I'm saying, than be out here, risking it all. Like, for what? That shit ain't gonna get you nowhere, man. But yo, this your boy SL550, and this is the N.G.L.A. podcast. And make sure y'all like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel.